it is preparing to live stream the meeting. So, well, we'll see how it goes. My first time doing that. So, Brad, have you done it? Have you done YouTube live before?
No, I haven't. I'm planning on trying, but let's see how it goes.
Well, and I'd like to, we should do it with your peeps, your
For
fans and
sure.
followers, maybe do a live like this with their wishes. Who knows?
Sounds
So,
good.
yeah.
Let
So,
Brad L be the guinea pig. That's good,
Sounds
Rob.
great.
yeah,
I
let
like
me
it.
be the guinea pig. Let me see if it works. Somebody else can look to see if it says we're good, but I think it's happening. I mean, I could watch it, but then I mean that would be like too meta for me.
You've seen yourself. Why do you have to watch?
I'll
Yeah,
take a look.
You know what you're
yeah.
looking.
So we'll just but I'm going to explain this a few times because there'll probably be some more people joining. But the whole idea is, first of all, I want y'all to kind of know each other, and we want to see how this this group event kind of idea works and how the live works. And I know you all from so many different places. It's like, that's like that Paul Simon song, all the people you knew from your past. Now I'm dating myself. But no, it's really fun to see all these people that I've known and been on your shows, or you've been on mine, or we've known each other somehow through different aspects, and just to have you here, and we're going to play with some cosmic wishes. Um, y'all want to introduce yourselves to each other? Since I know some of you already have, but who wants to start and just do that? And then, did you bring a wish? Did anybody bring a wish with them?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, well, we'll figure it out. Yeah. So who
Well,
wants to?
anyway, I did
Yeah.
introduce myself. I think everybody
Well,
on here.
not everybody was on.
Yeah.
So,
No. Okay, I'm Bruce
okay.
Kolaski. I'm out of Huntington Beach in Orange County, California, also known as Surf City, USA. And I am a hypnotherapist and a past life regression therapist. And I've been doing it almost 50 years. I think 48, something like that.
That, that's awesome. Who wants to go next?
I'm happy to go next.
Okay.
It's Brad Hook here. I'm calling in from New Zealand. I live 3 hours south of Auckland City on the East Coast, a beautiful beach town. I'm not from here. I've spent my life traveling around the world, and I'm an author. I write about human values, about resilience, about surfing, and
About
many other
surfing, I was
topics.
going to say, you got to talk
Yeah.
about your surfing.
And I run a podcast and many other things. I do a lot of speaking at corporate engagements and events. So that's a little bit about me.
Yeah. I had so much fun being on Brad's show, and we're gonna bring him on this and today as well as do others. So thanks for coming, Brad. Oh, one thing too to let y'all know is that when we're finished, we're gonna play with wishes and play with cards and just have fun. And then I'm also we're gonna announce that going to be doing a Cosmic Wishes class so that people can take a class and they can go through the 8-week process to learn how to turn their wish into a cosmic wish and go through a lot of activities. It's similar to what I've been kind of proposing for the Cosmic Wish experiment, although this is more like your own wish, and to take it through that. So it's a lot more robust about your wish, and you're going to learn how to turn your wish into a cosmic wish, as well as how to, just learn in general how to do that. And then if anybody wants to teach others, this is the first step to learning, is good to by doing, kind of thing. So just so Bruce is going to help me with that class, and I'm going to be talking about how that works. So who wants to go next and introduce?
Go
Dana?
ahead.
Yeah.
My name is Dana, and I am in Northern Colorado, and I am a podcaster on the paranormal and supernatural. And I um, am also doing a little bit of card reading with it. And yeah, so I'm just getting myself into paranormal investigations and Bigfoot research and having a lot of fun with it. And looking for guests if anybody has any experiences.
Yeah, well, I've been on show. I know I was on your show talking about my novel the first time, right?
Mm-hmm.
my We Meet Again, I think trilogy is what we were talking about. And then we talked about wishing, and then we did your wish and went through your wish. So that was really fun. So who wants to go next, Linda or Matthew?
I can go.
Okay.
Hi, Brownell and everybody. I I saw you just one by one, but not together. But I don't know. I just was finally excited that I have the capacity to come, to experience with Brownell what she's known for me. And so I I am in uh the suburb of Toronto in Ontario, in Canada, and something about myself. I am on a huge exploration journey, like self-exploration. I dropped in here, amnesia beyond your imagination, and this is kind of my life purpose to find out who I am. And it's crazy. I mean, in all kinds of ways. So it's quite exhausting too.
And you're from Slovenia, right?
No, actually, I was yeah, this is the thing, like my mom and Prague, she was Czech and I was born in Slovakia. But Czechoslovakia used to be together.
Yeah.
And yeah, so Prague is a really highly spiritual place. And as we are healing and going into the ancestral, yeah, so it's like, oh my God, too much to take sometimes.
Yeah, well, Linda and I've been friends for about what, 6 months or 8 months or something, and just both kind of figuring ourselves out as we go. So she's been part of that journey. And Matthew.
Hi, I'm Matthew Michael Collins from Southern California. I write poetry, mostly like I guess most people would say Viking or Norse poetry. And yeah, I'm glad to be here. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah. Well, he's been a big fan of the whole, like, how do we get the cosmic wish experiment off the ground? How do we wish for a better world for animals has been one of his wishes. So that we've been talking about. So this is great. And I don't know. Shall we? I'll just do an intro. Y'all know me, but anybody who's watching probably doesn't know me if they're not on. So I'll just kind of do a quick intro of me, and then we'll start talking about wishes, and I'll pull some cards and I'll show you how all of that works. And first of all, I'm Brownell Landrum. I'm the only Brownell Landrum in the world. So if you Google me, you'll find only me, good and bad. And I wrote this book called The Art and Science of Wishing, and I published it last year. And it's just been really this huge transformation in my life, because it feels like everything I've ever done in my life kind of led to this. My first book was a nonfiction book about why bad things happen. And then that kind of evolved into me writing fiction, led me to becoming a storyteller, writing my semi-autobiographical novel called A Love Story to the Universe. And then that all spun into what is wishing and how does wishing work? And that led me to getting into this, I call it game of science whack-a-mole, where all these sciences just kept popping up all over the place as I started researching it. And it's just been a ton of fun. And so this is my official launch of the Cosmic Wishes podcast. I have a few episodes up now, and we got more in the funnel coming in, and recording more all the time. And it's just been a whole lot of fun to do the show, and and then this is kind of our kickoff to see how it goes on a group event. So thank you for joining us. And as I mentioned just a minute ago, that we're going to do a quick little intro as far as a class we're going to do. So stick around just for some of those questions, because there are a lot of reasons. One of the things about it is there are a lot of reasons that people might want to take a class. Maybe they want to help somebody else with their wish. Maybe they want to train others on wishing and wishes. Maybe they think it's all crap and they want to be proven wrong. Who knows where people are coming from. And I'm open to all of that. The one thing I always like to explain is that I am not a scientist. So if there is anybody watching or listening, or any of you all, if you have any additional science to add to this, bring it on, because I want it. I want as much as I can do. I started a blog so I can just keep adding more science, and the more I keep exploring. So I look at myself more as a storyteller and an explorer that is just getting into all of these ideas and then sharing with the world. So anybody want to kind of add anything before I delve into asking you your wish? Okay. So I do want this, I want this to be live and interactive. And I know some of you, we've talked about your wishes before, but who wants to offer a wish? And then basically what I'm going to do is we're going to take your wish. I'm going to randomly draw from several hundred science cards. I went a little crazy on my science. So I have several hundred of these, and you can get a visual quick that each card has science, some sciences and a title. And so we go through and we just explain, once I draw the card, we'll talk about the science on the card. And then that won't be enough. No, not for me. And then we'll do these activity cards. And so then I'm going to draw an activity and we're going to apply that to a wish. So, and your wish can be, I kind of put wishes in 3 categories. It can be a personal or professional wish. So something you wish for yourself. And sometimes those get into really deep and interesting territory. So at first you think, oh, personal wish, but it goes really, really deep, or it can. And then the second one would be what we call a wish that ripples. So it's like when you've got a wish, but that can reach other people and that, maybe has a much bigger audience in terms of impacting others. And then the third one could be a whimsical wish. And so it could just be something that just feels fun and whimsical that you never even thought you'd wish for. I talked to somebody the other day, and their wish was since they were a little kid, they wished to use the Force, like from Star Wars. And so we talked about like how could they use the Force in their life, and you think it sounds like it's silly, but it got really, really beautiful and really powerful, as long as it's the light side of the Force, no dark side of the Force. So tell me what who wants to jump in?
No one?
We got some shy people here. Y'all aren't shy. Come on, I know you all.
Oh, not me. Yeah, I've been working on, as you said, I wish the world was a better place for animals. Just seeing what we could do to increase the, living conditions of animals. I think that's
Yeah, and
incredibly
you were
important.
specific, I think, on terms of, I know you were talking about dogs and cats, but you also what got into snakes and
Horses too.
and
I mean,
horses.
yeah, that's something that before we had cars, horses were how we got around, which is why cars have horsepower rather.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
So are y'all good with that? We'll pull a card for that. Okay. So I'd love to say, tell me which one. Can you see a card that just says maybe where one of my fingers is or something, where you want to pick one?
Well, I'll go with the middle finger.
This middle finger or this middle finger? Well, this one's the top card, so that would have to be
the
one
other
of the
one,
middle
yeah.
ones. Okay, so I'm just gonna figure out where my middle finger is because Okay, so this card is social psychology. Kind of hard to see in the picture, but it's social psychology is the area of science that we're going to be talking about. Oh, and this is one of my favorite ones. I think you're going to love this, Matthew. I always say that though. It's like, Sophie's choice. Which kid do you like the most? It's hard to say which card I like the most. This is Ubuntu. Hopefully I'm saying it right. Who's heard that word, Ubuntu? Yeah, I figure Bradley. Oh yeah, and Linda. So it stands for I am because we are. And so the quote here is, a person is a person through other persons. That's kind of the definition. It means that your wish doesn't exist in isolation. It lives in the web of relationships around you. Archbishop Desmond Tutu popularized this African philosophy of Ubuntu globally. Harvard researchers Nicholas Christakis and James Fowler's network science confirms its behaviors. Behaviors, emotions, and outcomes, spread up to 3 degrees of separation through human social networks. Your wish is networked. So that really, kind of ties into the fact that you wanted to do this, and someday hopefully we'll still do it with the Cosmic Wish experiment. But tell me what you all think about that, the Ubuntu, and how this is about us, not just you and your wish.
It's incredibly connected because, if we can understand relationships between humans, we can understand relationships and connections to everything else, right? But we can get to understanding connection, the social network, so to say, right, pertains to humans. That's why I mentioned we need to first, so-called, if we go through steps, understand each other, right? But then we have to have a relationship with ourselves and so on and so on, right? So then it goes down to animals and nature and so forth, right? Even a little stone, it's all part of us. So how we treat everything, right, goes back to how we treat ourselves. So if we want to help animals, we have to really, really start from ourselves. Yeah.
Yeah. That's really beautiful. Thank you. Who else wants to add any thoughts or insights on this particular card?
Well,
what it occurs to me when I hear that is, who said, was it Hemingway? No man is an island.
Was it him?
Is it
Hemingway?
Hemingway?
I don't know.
Whatever.
Yeah.
But basically what I'm getting at here when you say no man is an island is that we are all interconnected, using man as a term in general for all life is interconnected from the life force down to everything else. And I guess what the young lady said is very much is apropos to his particular wish. Yeah, I like that.
Mm. And much of the research suggests that connection is the strongest factor supporting well-being. If you just look at social connection, having grown up in Africa, you see Ubuntu, you see Nelson Mandela being released from prison and saying, instead of, let's take revenge, let's build a rainbow nation. And that's Ubuntu in action.
That's really beautiful. Yeah, thank you for that insight, because it is about, one of the things that's really important and a key component of the whole idea of cosmic wishing is the 3 Ps, right? Peaceful, positive, and purposeful. And so you're showing how you could have taken a situation like that and made it angry and negative and revenge driven. Instead, it's how can we unite toward this positive vision? And that's what Tutu and Mandela and both kind of, let's not hold on to revenge or animosity or anger. Let's move forward together in a beautiful way. And that one of the things that I've read about this particular philosophy, and you can correct me if it's wrong, is just that that in tribes, we're the what it means is that everybody comes in to take care of whoever needs help. And so it's not the weakest link, it's the opposite of that. It's like that is the person that we all want to go in and support, and the more we support that, the more the whole tribe is stronger. And I think that application works really well with animals too. It's like how we treat our animals and how we take care of them. And some of us eat animals, some of us don't. I personally don't, but some people do. It still is about how you take care of them, right? It's about still loving that whole microcosm or whatever. So it feels like a really lovely card. What do y'all think?
Yeah,
Fantastic.
I look at it as we do a lot of trash pickup, me and my husband, and I feel when I'm out there doing that, I'm cleaning up earth for the animals so that they're not being injured, or we're not taking away their living quarters because the grass is dying or their food source or anything like that. And also at the same time, we are all one. So if I'm helping out those animals, I'm helping me out to be able to enjoy tree life, the oxygen and everything from them, because I'm not allowing people, well, we try not to let the trash sit there and destroy the grounds that the trees need. So we're all like in a circle right there. We're all living for each other.
Yeah, that's really beautiful. Matthew, you want to add anything since that's your wish? How do you feel about that? Is that more of a nudge to still not give up on the cosmic wish experiment?
Oh, absolutely. And I agree. Same with the ocean. We've got so much pollution in the ocean and we get oxygen from the ocean as well. So, yeah, I agree. If we help animals, we are helping ourselves.
Yeah.
And vice versa. I want to say that it goes back to what I forgot your name, one of our gentlemen. So he was talking about Nelson Mandela, and I
Brad,
remember this legend. It's about Charles, the king of Bohemia, and that's like in 1400 something. So he had an accident when he was hunting, and so the legend says that he created one of the greatest empires on the planet ever. And how he could do it, how was he so successful, was because he was the kind of cosmic leader. And how he got there was because he had the accident and he couldn't move. He injured his spine, so he in 1400 something he could just be. So he was placed on the bed. They didn't have surgeries, nothing like that, right? No therapies, whatever. So no chiropractor. So he was lying for 2 years, just lying and lying and lying. And he started meditating. The legend says that basically he enlightened himself lying there for 2 years because he couldn't do anything else. And he healed and then he created his empire. So, I just want to say that it's incredible how, how do we do that so that we all can understand what this legend means?
Yeah. Yeah, and it's a really important point as far as what I talk about in the book and what we talk about with cosmic wishing is that, we had there's 4 responses to a wish, right? It's yes, no, wait, or something better. And often something we might not get our wish, but something else might happen that actually gets us on the path, right? And we talk about wants versus needs. So, he may not have wanted to have that happen, but on some level, that's what he needed in order to become the legend that he became. And so to understand and look at our life and look at situations like that and see how they can move us forward, especially if we keep that optimism. I talk about something called I call reverse optimism, when you can look back and go, oh, that happened so that this could happen, so that this could happen. That's how I got here. And that's a really good story for that. So just before we move on to do an activity for that same wish, I just like to give everybody a moment, and if anybody wants to comment, another wish you might have had and how that particular card could also apply to whatever wish that you might be working on. Does anybody have any examples of that? Of how Ubuntu could help?
Well, certainly, I've been thinking a lot about a recent research study that I conducted where we looked at what do people actually value around the world, and what came back was not what you would expect. It was things like, in first place was family, in second place respect, in third place kindness, in fourth place empathy, in fifth place honesty, and you look at this list and go, wow, that's not what's reflected in what we see in the news and how people are interacting and the polarization that we see. And what was really interesting about the study is that the reason why people are not able to live these values is because they're so stressed, because we're exhausted. And when we're exhausted, we revert to survival. And just as Linda said, imagine if we could all create the space for some healing and for some introspection and maybe even a little meditation. So that connects to what I was wishing for, is that people could find the space to downregulate their stress response, to be more present, and to reconnect with what matters most.
Yeah, that's really, really beautiful, Brad. And I know we talked about this when we talked before, is like, how do you turn a value into a wish that it turns into an action, right? And so that's another way to kind of add, of course, I'm going to put my own spin on it, but it is a way to go, okay, we wish that more people could learn how to use their energy in a positive way and learn how to regulate that stress so that they can live their values and feel freer to live their values without having all that stress. So I'm just going to spin it into my wish
I love
wish
it.
mentality. I just think that's, and we talk about like even corporate values, they have words on a wall, but how does that become an action as opposed to just a word? And I know you're doing some really beautiful work on so many levels related to that. I'm working on a book called The Art and Science of Wishing at Work. And I quote Brad when I talk about values. So I steal a quote from his book about values. Start with values, right? Isn't that what the title?
That is it. Yes, thank you.
Yeah. So that's really, really great.
Wondering, I
Yeah.
am wondering, so it's about embodiment, right? So maybe that's the gap that we have in humanity in this situation, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's well, and
Okay.
embodiment is a few things, right? Because in a way, embodiment is connecting with your body, right? So that's the physiological aspect of the wishing and a physiological aspect of that intention and that energy, so that your body is along the right. Because sometimes we are forcing our bodies to do things that we're not vibing, right? Our mind says we've got to do it, but our body's going, no, like somebody says, oh, I want to lose 15 pounds. Your body's like, no, but I want to eat this and I don't want to have to do that. And I don't want you to force me to that. Like, it feels like it's being punished. And if you align, then you go, well, let's do this together. Then the body's going, okay, we'll find fun things to eat that just happen to have fewer calories. And we'll find activities that we like to do that we can do together that help us physically. So embodiment is kind of the word of pulling in the body, as well as the action of that you're taking, right? Which is kind of the power of wishing. So shall we choose an activity card? You want to do middle finger again?
Sure.
Okay.
Can't go wrong there.
Randomly chose middle finger there. So what do y'all think? Do you like this process? Is it fun?
Let's do it.
Okay. So this one is I know you can't read it. And by the way, I'm going to have a free download of these wishes that you can these cards, so that you can, if you stick around, that's like kind of my teaser at the end of the show is and I'll post it tomorrow, but is here where you can go and you get a bonus and you get to download, so you can actually have a PDF of these two cards. But this one is the 3 Ps, psychology and neuroscience. So it covers all of that. And this really kind of gets into what I call the 3 Ps, which means that you need to be, your wishes and you, while you're making the wish, be peaceful, positive, and purposeful. And so, and this is the title here is the 3 Ps audit. So rate your wish on a scale of 1 to 10 on each P. Is it a peaceful wish? Feels pretty peaceful, wishing for, a better place for animals. That feels pretty good and peaceful. Is it positive?
I would say.
Feels pretty positive, right? You're not wishing
Definitely.
for people to stop harming animals, because that would be wishing on the negative, right? But you're wishing for a happier, safer, healthier planet for animals. That's a positive. And so what happens with your brain on the neuroscience is positive says, okay, I know what to work toward. I know how to find solutions to positive wishes. Negative wishes, you're just going to spiral in that negative stuff. But positive allows you to work to the positive. And then purposeful. I'd say we're there. What do y'all think? So the question is, okay, so which is the lowest and which is that's where your wish needs the most work. So I think it's pretty solid on all areas, but what do y'all think? 10 out of 10?
Yeah, I think so too.
Okay. Well, that was not that super active, but sometimes, the truth is a lot of times this particular card, does come up when somebody might not be completely tracking on, is this wish purposeful? It may be something, for example, somebody might be saying, okay, I want my business to grow, or I want to have this particular aspect of my business. And that's a totally right and okay and good thing to wish for. And the more you can make it purposeful, and you can say, the reason I wish for my business or my viewership on my podcast or whatever it is, reason I wish for it to grow and expand is because I know I'm touching people, and I know I'm impacting people, and I know I'm helping them. And so, like, I know, Matthew, you're, an audience and reaching more people through through your social media, because he does a lot of really fun social media. And I know, Brad and Dana, you have your podcast. So, when you get a card like this, sometimes it helps to think, oh, wait a minute, if I make it more purposeful, how can I make this even better? So that you can say, the bigger I get and the more people I reach, the more I can entertain their day or make them think or elevate their wishing or whatever that is. So that's kind of where that card. Any comments, any thoughts?
I think the purposeful takes a little more work, doesn't it? To figure out what you mean by purposeful, or how does purposeful apply to an individual wish? The other
It can. I've got, I think a lot of y'all seen, I've got a children's book, and in the purposeful one, but basically what we do is there these, this kid that doesn't believe in wishing because he thinks it's silly and not science. And then he gets taken to this place and learns about how to make his wish, add science to his wish. And I don't know how much you can see that, but this is a boy in front of a mirror with a towel around his neck, and he's wishing to be a superhero. So I don't know how much you can see, but that's the wish for this boy. And so he's got, his reflection in the mirror. And then they add the science of purposeful and the aspects of science to purposeful. And he changes his wish to, I wish to be a superhero so I can help people. And then you see all the people in the mirror that are reflecting back. And those are all the people he can help, as well as all the people who are willing to help him. So that's the multiplier effect when you make your wish purposeful, is you start finding people that are going to help you. Like, I was talking to somebody and they said, oh, I want wish for $1 million. And I was like, okay, but what's the why? And what's the why? And what's the why? And he had this beautiful vision that was really going to help the planet, and that all these people could join in and offer suggestions and ideas. So the $1 million is just a piece of paper with, ones and zeros. But this vision of what he wanted to do with renewable, I think it was hemp energy, or, hemp products, and had just this really, really gorgeous vision. And that's what he wanted the money for. And so then all of a sudden he could probably get a lot more help to make that happen. So it's just a really great example of that. So I love that. So we got time for another wish. Does anybody else want to wish? Oh, y'all are so quiet. Let me see. I'm just going to glance and see. I don't know if YouTube has got any comments or not. It says one watching now is all we know. So we know we've got somebody watching. So whoever you are is watching. Yeah, Brad.
Oh, no, I was saying hi to the person watching.
Oh, hi to the person. Anybody? Come on. Any other wish?
I will do a wish on connecting with spirit.
Okay. So let's phrase it in the phrase of a wish. I wish what?
I wish to connect with high spirited spirits as friendship.
As what?
As a friendship.
As a friendship. Okay. So I wish to connect and have a friendship with the higher spirits. Would that kind of be the way? Did I say it right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So, so you want to do a card?
Sure.
Okay. Do you want to, I don't know if you want to pick one, or it's kind of hard to say. How do you pick one? And they're not in order because I've been messing with them, or I could say just pick a number between 1 and 200. I'm
22.
all way out of control on
No,
that.
I'm just kidding. You're about the middle.
Like, see, I knew I was gonna drop them. Okay, so you never know what's gonna come up. So here's the card.
Sure.
And this is very interesting as far as the sciences that come up for that particular wish. It's in the area of consciousness science and into the world of spiritual and metaphysical. And I want to explain that some of the cards do get into the spiritual and metaphysical. And one of the things I talk about with cosmic wishing is what I call cosmic collaboration. And it means that it accepts the fact that we don't always have our wishes, that we don't always have it in control, and that there's some kind of outside influence that can assist us. And we can use a spiritual explanation of that. We can also probably get into quantum physics, kind of some sort of energy field that we can tap into. But it's the idea that we can get assistance, and that how many of y'all seen that movie Hitch with Will Smith and Eva Mendes? I don't know if you've seen it. My hand thing showed up on the computer. And there's a scene in the movie where he's teaching this other guy how to kiss. And he says, okay, here's the trick to kissing. You go in 90%, but she's got to come in that other 10%. And I love it as a metaphor for the whole idea of cosmic collaboration, because sometimes we can only do so much, and then we need that extra 10% from something or someone or some force outside of ourselves. So anyway, that's the arena. And this is kind of a wild one, but I think it might be fun to see how you see it fits. It's called the simulation glitch. Nick Bostrom's simulation hypothesis, now seriously debated in philosophy and physics. Okay, so it's a fringe science, but it raises a very important and quiet question. If reality is a constructed system, what would a glitch look like from the inside? Probably quiet, a thought that shouldn't have arrived, a coincidence that doesn't quite add up, a blue balloon on a fence. You don't need to believe it, just sit with it. So that's, this is how some of these cards get into some kind of, okay, I've got to think about that one for a while, and how that works. And I think, well, anybody want to tell me what you think it means? It doesn't matter what I think it means. What do you think it means?
Well, now
Me,
we're
it
talking.
sounds more like
Please.
no. Go ahead, Brad.
No, I was just going to say, now we're talking my favorite types of topics. A lot of very serious researchers are talking about the fact that we each live in our own personal simulation, and we call what reality is just consensus reality, where our simulations or hallucinations overlap. But please continue. That's just my feedback.
No, keep going. Tell us how you think that applies to her wish. I think they will help Dana.
No, well, I think that if we, so one of the theories is that we are viewing reality almost through a little headset. We are avatars in some sort of shared simulation. And it was a physicist called Thomas Campbell who wrote a theory called My Big Toe, TOE stands for Theory of Everything, who said the way to access the substrate or the fabric of this reality is through love and kindness. So what he's saying in essence is that being kind to each other, loving, is a way to access what you might call spirit.
Well, and even for so many different philosophies, especially like the Bible, God is love, right? And I always think that, when people say, what do you think about what is God? I say it's love. And I think that I actually talk about it in a couple of my books and screenplays. It's like, I think someday science will, I know that David Hawkins kind of tried to measure the energy, but I really do think that we'll be able to measure the energy of love, and that is measuring what God is, right? Because the higher we get there and the closer we get to that, that's the closer we get, to God, if you will, because if God is love. So, and for me, just my little, 2 cents, and I want to hear from you guys, but is, when people say pray to the universe, I say, be careful, because that's praying to all of it. And that's not always all the good, right? There's, you might be bringing in some stuff that's not quite God, if you will. But when you're talking about, love, and if you're just praying to love and you're just praying to tap into the energy of love, that's the most beautiful energy of all. So I'm going to let you all comment on that. And then I've got another thought on this particular card as far as Dana's wish. What do y'all think?
Well, I had the thought, first thing that came to my mind was when something odd happens. Like I get a lot of weird things that just kind of happen. And it's like when you have to sit there and think about, okay, did that really happen? And that's just really odd that that happened in the first place, right? Those to me are feeling more like a message that's being given to you. So that's where you're intertwining with all the energy, all beings. So you're connecting with those beings by just having odd things happen that you
Yeah,
can't fully explain. It just kind of happens.
yeah, and I felt like that tying those that what Brad said and then kind of what you're saying and your wish together, for me, it says, does it matter what anybody else thinks? And does it matter if it's your definition? If it makes you happier and it's not hurting anyone, so you don't have to rationalize it. And I know that that you do get into some things that some people go, okay, I don't know what she's talking about. Instead of judging, to really accept that. And so what is when you say more connected and have a friendship with spirit, I mean the friendship part I love the most, because that's like you're in a collaboration, like the cosmic collaboration. I mean, you're like, we're buddies here, and I'm going to help you, and you're going to help me, and you're going to give me the signs. Because sometimes I describe the spirit guides, or the whatever you want to call them, as like border collies, and they're like, you're going this way, and they want you to go this way, so they're going to keep whacking you in the side to get you over there. But if it's friendship, it's like, we're walking this path together. Hey, help point out some things that help me see things. And I think that your relationship that I know that you have with that realm is that you are able to see things that other people might not. And somebody else goes, well, that's a glitch in the matrix or whatever, like the card's saying. And you go, you know what, this might be also open your mind. It might be something that will help them and they'll get to see. So so that's kind of fun. Anybody else want to add? I know we got Annalena. Hi. You're on mute, but there we go. Yeah.
Hey, Brunel. Yeah, I was driving earlier and it was raining a lot, so I disconnected, but now I'm here at least for the end. It's good to see you.
Yeah, it's good to see you too. We have to get you on the show. So
Yes, yeah, definitely. Let's
yeah,
do
I'm
it.
gonna have to, it's just I'm having so much fun with this, as you can see.
Yeah,
So
that's the most important.
that is the most important. So I'll draw, you want to draw an activity for that wish. I'll just kind of, how about this one? Does that feel good?
Are you talking to me or?
Well, I'm on Dana. We're doing Dana's,
Okay.
Dana's wish to, Dana has a wish to have a more of a friendship and connection with spirit.
Perfect. Love it.
Is that, did I say it right, Dana? Yeah. Okay. I don't want to keep rewording it and miss anything in the thing. So this is in the realm of anthropology, social psychology, and neuroscience. So this covers all of those sciences. And this is very simple, a wish chant. And I think this is kind of fun that you could maybe do with your spirit friends. And it just says, create a simple 3 to 5 word chant from your wish. Repeat rhythmically for 2 minutes. Chanting combines ritual, repetition, vibration, and community, multiple sciences at once. So if you were to, anybody want to throw in, if you were to create a 3 to 5 word wish for, a chant for that wish, what would you come up with?
Well, if I may interject here,
Yeah.
I right off the top of my head, I can't come up with a chant, but I can how it applies to what I do as a hypnotherapist. When you do that and you repeat it enough, you establish an altered state of being, altered state of consciousness, rather. And it's generally accepted that in an altered state of consciousness, we are closer and able to access our higher self, which in turn may be accessing spirit. So it's like thoughts, ideas come down from spirit to our higher self, and in my paradigm for what I do, then ultimately ends up with the subconscious mind and ultimately into the conscious mind. That's just my way of looking at it from what I do. So
That
basically,
makes sense.
you're
Yeah,
doing
I love it.
self-hypnosis. You're doing self-hypnosis when you formulate a chant.
So what kind of chant would you come up with? Um,
I have to think some more on this one.
Well, it could just be
Um,
welcome spirit friends, you know, and maybe it's like you just go for a walk and you're just saying something like welcome spirit friends, or something simple like that. I mean, I don't want to tell you what to think, but you know, it could be something really, really simple. So, uh, how about you just let us know when it comes to you? You don't have to necessarily come up with it tonight unless you want to.
I'll think about it.
Okay.
I'll think about it. Okay.
Okay,
Awesome.
sounds
Thank
good.
you.
Yeah. So I know we had somebody in the chat and they had a professional wish to build their business and to build their community with their business. And I think a lot of us have that to different degrees. And so I think we can kind of, cover some of the cards that we've already drawn in that the one, the Ubuntu is, as I mentioned, when we're building some sort of business, how can we build that community that all supports us in that business? Because a lot of us are independent entrepreneurs, and we might work on our own and individually. And the more we can start asking for help, and I don't know about y'all, but sometimes that's hard for me to do, is to ask for help on my wish. Although look at you guys are here, so that's I'm just so excited to have all of you all here and supporting this, and hopefully enjoying it. So I think that's something that's a wish, and that can help them in their wish. And then we had, the 3 Ps we talked about, purposeful. So I think that might apply. I want to talk about, I'll just give you some quick info on the class that we're going to do. But I don't want to, if anybody has anything about wishes or wishing right now that you want to add before I do, it's only going to take me 2 minutes to talk about the class. So it's not like I'm going to go, okay, here's 25 minutes and you get out your credit card. It's just, we're going to be trying something and we don't know who might be interested in it. We good? Okay. So I'm going to see if I can share the dreaded PowerPoint. So here's my little fun little cosmic wishes vibe. And basically it's just a class. We're going to turn wishes into cosmic wishes using science. It's going to be 8 weeks. So we're going to start, because 8 weeks, why? Because neuroscience says you should really practice something every day over 8 weeks, and then you're going to be rewiring your brain for that success. It's going to include a copy of my book. It's going to have this really fun and robust playbook with weekly activities. And then it's going to be led by weekly Zoom meetings, so that in those meetings, we're going to be doing some really cool. Bruce is going to help me take people through meditations and relaxation and visualization and things like that to help you really kind of tap into the energy he's talking about. I've got a really fun tracker for your wishes, as well as an ideas and insights tracker for the default mode network. So it's going to have gamification. So just those basics. And then, why would somebody want to do this? Maybe they're working on a big wish that they want to happen, and they're like, this is so important, I've got to work on this and it's worth it. And maybe you just love manifestation programs and you want more. Maybe you're on a turning point. Maybe you like the idea of cosmic collaboration. Maybe you have a wish for someone you love. I go crazy over this list of reasons. Maybe you think it's crap and you want to be proven wrong. I had to put that in there because somebody might be skeptical, and that's fun too. I know Matthew has been talking about bringing his son into this whole process and teaching kids and being able to teach kids on how to do this and how to make their wishes peaceful, positive, and purposeful. And some of you hopefully agree and think this might be able to change the world. And so the more we can teach people, the more we can do that. So that's pretty much it. I'm going to have a link to to just all you do is just tell us, yes, you're interested, you know, maybe a little bit, why not? And then we'll send you information and we'll try to work the schedule with people and make that happen. So just putting that out there. Everybody says you got to do a class. So and it's really going to be fun. I mean, I'm making the activities and everything. So there's science and fun, and that's what wishing is about fun. So any other thoughts, comments, suggestions, wishes?
Well, I love how you make it fun because I think everything, including learning, is so much easier when it's fun.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think that the cards are a great idea because they prompt you to look at wishes or basically any situation from multiple perspectives and perspectives that you wouldn't have considered.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm really having fun with that. What else?
I agree with that. I agree that it just gives a different way of looking at things and give new perspective and new direction and just a all new different picture of what could be happening. And my 3-word phrasing, welcome spirit friends, kind of taken after yours, but
Yeah.
welcome spirit friends.
Welcome spirit friends.
I think what we'll be doing here is giving people a whole new set of tools rather than just sitting back and trying to, I'm going to manifest this. I'm manifesting this. It's going to be a set of tools based on science and psychology.
That's right. And neuroscience
And
and
whole
neurobiology
bunch
and
of in the mix.
anthropology and sociology. I mean, like, you know, I think most of y'all know that I did my TEDx talk in April, and I can't wait for it to come out. And I take you through these like 5 different sciences. So and you know, things like the default mode network that I didn't know anything about. That's like, oh my God, this is the answer to so much. And so anyway, it's fabulous and then fun. So welcome spirit friends. Anybody else?
I want to say that it's like, new love language, because really this fulfills everyone. Any way we communicate, we process, we feel, it satisfies every area, right? So it's really multidimensional for sure. It's like so far, among any kind of other invention, so to say, I think this one is like, it made it to the top, like better than Michael Jackson.
Thank you so much. I have to say that, when you're talking about Dana and your spirit friends, I know that when I'm doing something they want me to do, I just feel this energy and this vibe. And then look how beautiful you people are and to be here. And if this is just a gift just to hang with you all and have you all maybe meet each other and have new friends and different parts of the world. So it just feels like this incredible gift. And I feel like I was given this gift, and so here I am, spreading it. So thank you. Anybody else want to?
Thank you for creating the space for this, Brownell.
Yes.
It's a pleasure.
Well, we're going to get you on the calendar. Same with you, Annalena and Linda. So we'll get you all so you can be on there. I know, Matthew, we got you scheduled for the next, like within the week, I think. You're on the calendar or a week or two. So we'll pull your cards and do this. And if there are people out there and they're, oh, I want you to do this with my group and I want to bring a group together, then let me know. We can talk about it. Because sometimes when we're on podcasts and things, we just have one person and we're focusing on them. And I kind of like this idea of we're here. This is the Ubuntu. We're supporting each other, right?
Exactly.
I mean, like by definition, this is the Ubuntu class.
Sorry, guys. I would like to know if we can somehow stay connected, maybe through you on Substack or Instagram or something.
Yes, I do have a Cosmic Wishes Facebook group just for the sake of that. And then I'm also going to do a circle so we can share videos and share more content that we couldn't do. And then please watch my YouTube channel, follow the YouTube channel. So that's another way. So I'm doing a Substack. So I only have the first introduction, which just says, "Hey, welcome explorers." So I'm going to start adding to that. But yeah, but Substack has groups too. So I don't know what's going to work best for everybody, and I'm open to however that works. All right. Well, thank you again so much for coming. It's been a ton of fun, as it always is. And welcome, spirit friends. Okay, thank you all so much. Okay, good night.
Good night now.
I think we're I can stop recording, I think. And I can stop the live.
Yeah.